I'm going to show you how I load for my 75 caliber Brown Bess and East India Company muskets. Just so you know, this is not a 75 caliber round ball. It's actually 69 caliber. The official military balls, I believe, were .685, but I've got a Lee mold that I paid 20 bucks for that'll cast at 69, which is pretty good. This is a template that I use that I got online that you can find a lot of different places for making paper cartridges, and I just cut a template out of an old election sign, and then I used the template and I cut out the paper, and the paper I use I got at Walmart, and it's packing paper made by Duck brand, and it gets 120 sheets, 24 by 24, and I can get about, I guess, 40 of these per piece, so you can have paper for quite a while. This is just a 3/4 inch dowel rod that I burrowed a chamber in to kind of hold the ball in as I'm rolling. I was going to try to do this while I'm with a camera in front of me. It'll be a little hard, but basically, and I cheat a little bit on this. The military cartridges were actually tied at the end, and I used to do that, but man, it's a pain. So what I started doing is I take a glue stick and I run it down the edge, and then I start wrapping the ball, and I just try to wrap it as tight as I can. You can adjust it as you go, but I'll wrap the ball and roll it down. You'll see that the glue kind of helps it stay closed for you. And then here's where you can normally roll this and then tie it off with string, but if you want a faster way to do it, you can push down the end, and I'll take my glue stick and kind of smear some glue in there, and then I'll fold it down again, take my glue stick, smear that down in there, and fold that whole thing over and just kind of smush the edges down so that it's round. And then I'll take before I do anything else, I'll see that I just want to make sure that it fits in my cartridge case, which it does just fine. So then I pull the dowel out gently, and I'll take 120 grains of double F black powder. Now that sounds like a lot of black powder, and it is, but the trick to accuracy in a smoothbore musket, and I learned this from a gentleman by the name of Bill Curtis, is a stout powder charge. And with 120 grains of black powder in there, you pour that in, and then you do a fold crimp here, and that's basically the charge. I don't need to use a patch. I don't need to use any lube. The ball is, in a 75 caliber musket, when you've got a 69 caliber ball, that leaves a lot of room around the edges. That's called windage. However, when you tear this cartridge off and you dump the powder down into the barrel, and then you follow it with the paper down like this, all the way down there, and ram that down, this paper will crimp up around there and take up all the windage, and will actually form a sabot around the ball. And I have no trouble getting good groups at 50 yards on up with this load here. So what I'll do is I'll fold this over one time and just kind of give it a crimp, and then I'll do a little double fold here on each side, kind of fold it flat, and then I'll fold it back over to hold the whole thing down. And with this thick, thin paper, I can actually put the entire round with the tail down into my cartridge case. So that's a cheap way to do it, maybe a cheating way to do it, but it will give you good accuracy. Remember, 120 grains of black powder, 69 caliber ball, packing paper from Walmart.